Hey everyone, I'm about to take you on an investigation that will not only show you that Daniel Holtzclaw, a former Oklahoma City policeman, was wrongly convicted of rape, sentenced to 263 years in prison, but I'll prove to you that he was framed by members of his own police force. I'm using footage from Michelle Malkin's excellent investigation into the case called Daniel in the Den. You should watch the two-part series directly on their website if you can. Otherwise, there is currently a YouTube video of it that they have allowed to remain so that people can hear his story. I'll put links below to sources where you can start your own investigation, and I recommend that you look at all of them. I'm going to start with footage from a videotaped interview. These are the last few seconds when one of the false accusers thinks that the recording is done.
So this is good evidence?
Well, you tell me.
I think so, because I mean, y'all, even if he didn't even rape nobody or nothing, he's been in contact with people that he arrested.
Private investigator Brian Bates, who has done most of the groundwork to get this evidence to the public, introduced this footage into the trial where even the prosecutor hadn't seen it before. Now when you watch this, mostly people see a woman who just finished making a statement to police admit that she hadn't actually been raped. What I see is slightly different, but more important. I see a police officer, Rocky Gregory, being told that the statement is false and pursuing charges based on a witness that he knows is lying. You must never forget those few seconds of tape.
Well, you tell me.
I think so, because I mean, y'all, even if he didn't even rape nobody or nothing.
That is proof of police corruption. I've put it up front because you need to know how this case was built, and it was built with malice. As Brian Bates says to Michelle Malkin,
they lied on the stand, they lied to the jury, they're involved in civil lawsuits where they may collect millions. This is an injustice, and the public doesn't want to be bothered with it.
In this video, I'm only going to focus on the sex crimes detectives because everything else we'll be discussing is a result of their bungling, unethical behavior. Meet lead detective Kim Davis. She'll explain why she and her buddy Rocky manufactured victims.
When you have one victim, I believed her, but we don't always get things done when you have one victim, but when you have 13, and the MO's the same, and the verbiage is the same, it just becomes a little bit more believable.
Now, Kim Davis is the Roscoe P. Coltrane of the OKCPD.
And so I get this anonymous phone call about a flying saucer.
If you don't know Roscoe, go watch some Dukes of Hazzard.
But I wasn't looking for any flying saucers because I don't believe in them.
So let's have a look at how they got their accusers to give them a story, the story they wanted. They went through the names of people that Daniel had called in while he was on patrol and started interviewing black women who had drug or prostitution records. They contacted all of them, telling them in advance that they believed the women might have been sexually assaulted by a police officer. Not a very good idea. Here is Rocky refusing to accept no for an answer. Brian Bates and Michelle Malkin help us count the times that she says nothing ever happened to her.
Have you ever come to any contact where an officer has been inappropriate?
No.
Have you ever had to expose yourself to them?
No.
Okay.
But,
You wasn't asked to, if you had any drugs on you, anything like that, and you had to
expose myself? But I know what you're talking about.
That's the clap and shake.
No. I haven't had. How did you get my name anyway on something like this? Because I haven't really been on the streets and stuff that much. There's only one officer that I know a few years back. He was a black cop. They used to come around here. He exposed himself to me. I hope I helped you, but like I said,
you did. You did.
So Rocky says that's helpful, but it's not. Daniel's not black. He's half white and half Japanese, but mostly he just looks white. Good old Rocky. Well, he's got excuses for all of them. Listen to him explain away why one of the supposed victims didn't name a location they could pin Daniel to, and why she eventually remembered the location he wanted her to pick.
She actually told me a wrong location to kind of throw me off a little bit.
There were several calls that came in during that week, and they were all at night.
The reason why is because she knew we was going to dig into it, and she didn't want the boyfriend to know that she fell off the wagon.
Now, the accuser he's talking about here, well, she didn't actually have a boyfriend. That was part of the problem. She's a schizophrenic who was harassing an ex-boyfriend who'd broken up with her. That's why the police were called in the first place. The ex-boyfriend called because the woman was high on crack, damaging the dude's truck while accusing him of sleeping around on her because he had a new girlfriend.
She had no motive at all to make this up.
Did you investigate? Yes. No, yes, I did. Listen, I did it. I investigated.
So Davis and Gregory created their own victim profile, one that didn't even match the original accuser. I'm going to do separate videos on each of the accusers. They chose a victim profile of women who would be most likely to cooperate with them and give them a false statement. You know, ex-cons who were vulnerable black women with a history of prostitution and drug abuse.
A police investigation turned fishing expedition that dredged up more than a dozen accusers.
That's why I went down near the swamp, because, you know, that is where you find swamp gas.
Remember, not only does their manufactured profile not match the first accuser, they admit that they got multiple false accusers, and the number of false accusers increased as the media started flashing Daniel's face and the accusations on TV, in the news, and on the internet.
There was a couple during, and then some came like during the trial and after the trial.
After it hit the media, we really had to be kind of protective as far as just absolutely even just believing anything. We had to really kind of dissect, because now it was out there. Some people thought of money or just wanted attention or however. I interviewed one male.
One male who said that Daniel holtzclaw. And what was the outcome of that?
He admitted he lied.
Yeah.
Until now, the public never heard about the 7 or 8 accusers who claimed to have been assaulted after Daniel was already suspended from the police force.
After they saw it on the TV, they were like, ooh, I can get in on this. And
yeah, they were like, ee woo. We've already seen how Rocky can turn a black perpetrator into a white one and turn a location that didn't work for him into the right location. So you know these allegations were outrageous if they dropped them.
Oh, people lie.
Rocky and Kim are even willing to go forward with an allegation after the woman tells them that she made it up. So the ones that they rejected were people that couldn't even be led into telling a lie that they could work with. And they just made those ones disappear.
Blip. Clear out of sight. Just blip.
Okay, now listen to Kim Davis explain why they didn't record the interview with the first accuser.
We don't record victim interviews except involving police officers. We never have recorded victim interviews.
Okay, but this one involved a police officer.
It did, but I had no recording, I had no equipment to record it, and it didn't even cross my mind to record it. We're in the middle of the hospital, and it's not something we do. We don't take a recorder to the hospital and do interviews.
Kim Davis is presented numerous times as some sort of super sleuth hero who managed to break a big case. But can she even use her own cell phone to record an event?
I wouldn't even know how to record on my phone if I did.
You wouldn't?
No, I have no idea.
Now, I think Kim is being honest about her stupidity, but dishonest about why the interview wasn't recorded. Elsewhere, she tells us that she got a call saying a woman was claiming to have been assaulted by a police officer. So she knew from the very beginning, from when they woke her up with this phone call, that she should bring a recorder with her. But Kim didn't need technology because
she says she had a gut feeling about what would become the biggest case of her career.
They'll be coming by here just any moment now. I can feel it in my bones.
And don't think that Rocky is the only one who says the description was a match when it wasn't. Here's Kim Davis taking a statement from an accuser who says that Daniel is a short black man.
Then there's Sherry Ellis, someone the jury believed, even though she told police her attacker looked nothing like Daniel.
Tell me your description of him.
He's black.
He's black male.
Muscular.
Muscular. How tall could you tell? You're pretty tall. How tall are you? How tall are you?
5'11".
Is he taller than you or shorter than you?
Like right here, maybe, like that.
So you think he's shorter than you?
Yeah.
But Daniel is 6'2" and light-skinned.
That's not a problem for Kim Davis, though, and apparently not for the jury either. They convicted Daniel for being a mythical short black man.
And then I got all these crazy little tiny teenser sounds in my head, and I thought I was going squirrely.
I'm going to finish here with a statement about police practices. That they don't record at least audio for all allegations of sexual assault is, well, it's horrendous. I have never seen a police report that matches the actual statement. With these two clowns, Rocky left out all the times that woman, the one we heard earlier, well, he left out all the times she said she hadn't actually been assaulted. He also did not record, for obvious reasons, when the other accuser said she hadn't actually been raped at all. Let's watch that one again.
So this is good evidence?
Well, you tell me.
I think so, because I mean, y'all, even if he didn't even rape nobody or nothing, he's been in contact with people that he arrested.
Every single accuser who detectives unearthed were encouraged and led to make false accusations, and both the detectives knew that the information was bad, but they pursued charges anyway.
Well, this is the deal. You got several victims, okay? And so we're trying to go back on this guy, and he's a pretty bad guy. He's having women do different things.
Oh, thinking they gonna go to jail if they do a favor for him, he wouldn't.
There you go.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
As Kim Davis says,
does that make sense? I mean, you kind of have to use a little common sense here.
Yes, let's have some common sense. Watch as Daniel gives Davis and Gregory his uniform for testing, and think about what they don't want you to notice, what they didn't want to notice, and what they didn't care about. Michelle Melkin narrates.
She testified that Daniel unzipped his pants in an instant and pulled out his penis through the fly of his pants. But Daniel wears tight compression underwear without an opening at the crotch. His bulletproof vest hung below his groin, and his uniform shirt was secured to his socks to keep it taut. The scenario Liggins described is highly unlikely, to put it mildly.
All the accusers say Daniel pretty much just whipped his dick out. Well, he can't have done that. You saw. The effort required for Daniel to pull out his penis in public would have required undoing a lot of gear, and pulling his whole pants down. He can't have done it. Every single accuser talked as if Daniel just unzipped his fly and his dick appeared. They described it that way because, well, it never happened. Now we have to find out. We have to find out why they charged an officer with crimes that they had to have known he didn't commit. Stay tuned for the next video, and in the meantime, go watch Malkin's 2-part series while you wait. I'm going to end with the sound of Daniel's voice. It's the voice of an innocent man sentenced to prison for 263 years.
It was devastating. It crucified me. It was hard, and that's not who I am. That's not exactly who I am at all. People want to jump to the conclusion and try to feel good about themselves and say, well, Daniel fits that profile. I don't fit any profile of anything because I didn't do anything wrong.